panels that please me.
Hey folks, welcome to another Panels That Please Me video. There's a few panels that caught my eye since the last time I did this. First off, I'm going to start off with this Doom Patrol. Quite an old one from the initial early run, and this first bit was a bit strange. That's it, just a dumb guess, and I got it for freeze for your hunches. Are you kidding? First up, Beast Boy is purple, which is weird. Beast Boy, my son, and you are my son by adoption. How would you like to get your first split lip from your dear father? So a little bit of casual child abuse there. And this next one's got some Mad magazine tie-in. We're your friends, Snowy. We don't want to hurt you. Here, take this little priceless gift with my compliments. Unga. How'd you make it so happy? Unga, 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 unga. I gave him my Alfred E. Newman button. And why is he doing it so? I told him it was a mirror. So that's rather weird. And then finally, from the next issue, we've got this. If you missed the last sensational issue, here's your crying towel. And it's got the New York Mets written on it. So I'm guessing whoever wrote that or drew that was not a fan of the Mets and wanted to rub it in because they'd lost, I don't know, baseball game or something like that probably. But I'm not going to read this panel, just it's an old Mixamilic appearance, like a reappearance from an old reprint comic. And yeah, I just like the way it was an upside down panel for some reason. Don't ask me why, small things please me, as yeah, I won't go there. But anyway, next up we've got this lovely Jimmy Olsen panel, which, you know, you can't go wrong with a bit of Jimmy Olsen, can you, Matilda? So in this one, he's been kind of tortured thinking that he's causing all these accidents and deadly danger. And it all turns out to be, as you'll see here, so I didn't destroy Kandor, wipe out the Atlantides, or lure my power into becoming an evil super demon. Phew, those emanations gave me awful hallucinations about people who are important in my life. Yes, readers, Jimmy's encounter with the evil demons happened only in his mind. It is pure Silver Age madness. I found a nice old Green Lantern as well, where he meets Satana for the first time, and he actually recites his sacred oath backwards, which I thought was quite fun, as the Emerald Crusader charges his power ring and renews his solemn oath. I'll let you read that backwards if you like, or you can check out the short that I did about it. Next up, from an annual All-Star Squadron, we've got Psycho Pirate, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but anyway, he's saying, the way is clear to the podium, Psycho Pirate, you know what to do. And Psycho Pirate saying, do I ever? I never voted Democratic anyway. And the reason he's saying that is because they're about to kill Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the President of the United States. And carrying on with FDR, we've got Green Lantern and FDR, and I think that's maybe the Vice President. Now, if only you could do something about that ultra-humanite fellow while we've still got a war effort. We intend to, Mr. Wallace. Now, if you'll excuse us, the buck stops here. It's still a few years before those words will grace a White House desktop, but there's never been any doubt as to who's in charge of the current administration, not since '33. I must say, Mr. President, you seem as cool as ever in the face of this crisis, but then I suppose nothing frightens a man who's overcome poliomyelitis, huh? To tell the truth, Harry, there's only one thing I really fear, and it's not fear itself, which of course is a famous quote about that he said about nothing to fear but fear itself. And then from Marvel, we've got these old phrases. Know ye these, the hallowed ranks of Marveldom. RFO stands for Real Frantic One, a buyer of at least 3 Marvel mags a month. TTB is a Titanic true believer, a divinely inspired no prize winner. And QNS, Quite Enough Sayer, is a channel with that name, where I believe earned the rank, is a fortunate frantic one who's had a letter printed. And then we have KOF, Keeper of the Flame, one who recruits a newcomer to Marvel's rollicking ranks. PMM, a permanent Marvelite. Maximus, anyone possessing all 4 of the other titles. I'm not too sure what the other titles were. Oh, all 4 of the titles we've had already, so RFO, TTB, QNS and KOF. Then we have FFF, Fearless Front Facer, an honorary title bestowed for devotion to Marvel above and beyond the call of duty. Right, we've got a nice bit of Batman action here as well, from the 70s I believe, and he's, you know, giving some smack talk basically. Yep, in person, and vivid colour and vivider knuckles. Ah, waste him. Ugh. Laddie, you have no idea how blasted often I've heard that threat. Always some creeper's going to waste me, nail me, cut me, drop me. I wish someone would threaten to stub my toe for a change. Don't feel neglected, do your silly stunt. Dive for the Tommy gun, I'll give you a break. I'll let you get halfway there. I got a different trick in mind. But I'm afraid I'm not going to show you what the different trick is, because that was just all the bit that I wanted to show you, because just a little bit of fun banter during battle. But some old Batman now as well. Good stuff. This is a reprint magazine, and it shows the first time we saw the Batarang and the Batcopter, or the Batgyro. But back at the Wayne mansion, Julie would be surprised to know her Batman is her future husband, and in a secret hangar known only to himself, 2 new weapons, my Batgyro, in which to follow Julie, and the Flying Batarang, modelled after the Australian bushman's boomerang. But these next 2 panels feature Robin. First up, some classic old 60s Robin holy blinking sayings. So Batman's pointing out, that's where I landed one on the hangman last night, on that cheek. You can see the bruise. And Robin says, holy hydrogen peroxide, which is straight out of the old 60s TV show, where he had a holy expletive for every single incident. Right, and then this one, we've got him quoting one of my favourite, well not quoting, but mentioning one of my favourite authors. So he's saying, over the years, fantasy writers have come here for inspiration, like Washington Irving, Edgar Allan Poe, even H.P. Lovecraft. So yeah, that pleased me, and I thought I'd mention it to you. Right, I'm not going to read all these panels out to you, but I like this one because it's another technology thing. It's the first time that the flight ring was shown. Apparently they had flight belts before they had the flight ring. I'm not too sure. I should have written down the actual comics that I got these panels from, but I'm too lazy and unorganised for that. Anyway, have a good read of that, and you can see the first flight ring, and also quite funny, he's holding up 2 fingers in the is it the victory sign? I don't think it is the victory sign. I think that's the F off sign in at least that's what we use in the UK anyway. Apparently it's supposed to do with the archers. The archers during the Agincourt were very powerful and great in battle, and the French said if you catch any archers, cut off their 2 fingers, they used to draw the bow with. And so they would show the 2 fingers to the French, basically say F you, and also to say, yeah, I've still got my 2 fingers. Now, I'm not sure if that's true or not. That's maybe an apocryphal historical fact, but there you go. You don't get all truth on my thing. Google it yourself to find out. Anyway, next up we've got a little one from a Legion of Superheroes comic. This is the Doctor on the team, from the Legion of Superheroes, and he's putting on 2 rubber gloves with a snap, and he's saying, now please leave, I'm keeping Monstress waiting. So Monstress is about to have some kind of medical examination. I just found it quite amusing that he's slapping on 2 rubber gloves, and I don't know, I can't think what possibly proctology exam, gynecological examination, I don't know, but anyway, it amused me. Right, I recently read Supergirl Volume 1 and Volume 2, and here's a panel from Supergirl Volume 2, which I thought was quite interesting, because it introduces a character called John Ostrander, which is the name of the writer from the Suicide Squad and the Spectre. And I thought, that's kind of weird, they've actually named a character John Ostrander. And I think, was that in his honour or something? I've really got no idea. But he says, John Ostrander, Esquire, at your service, milady. Thrilling, ain't it? Sheesh, is this guy bugging you, Linda? I don't know, I haven't decided yet. You can run, but you can't hide from me, woman. I know where you live. Is that guy for real? Johnny O? Nobody knows for sure, but we've been trying to get him to donate his body to science so they can find out. So there you go, that was a nod to John Ostrander. I think the writer of this volume was John, what's his name? Kupperberg? I can't remember his first name now. I've forgotten. Paul Kupperberg, is it? So I don't know if he was like friends with Ostrander. Maybe they were working together. I don't know. So either that or the name was a complete coincidence. He does occur as a character a couple of times. Not a great deal though, but I thought it's quite interesting. And then we have also from the Supergirl volume, Chicago's Grant Park. In its time, it has been the scene of frequent political activity, most notably during the ill-fated 1968 Democratic National Convention. And that made me think, I wonder what happened then, and like wanted to do a little bit of research kind of thing. I'll let you do your own research to find out exactly what happened. Right, and then we have another interesting little thing from the Black Lightning realm, which I've recently just completed reading as well. You are the best qualified for the job, Black Lightning, but even you need a backup in there. And that backup is going to be the best officer I've got, Jim Corrigan. Your partners, boys, get used to it. Which is kind of weird because Jim Corrigan is the name for the Spectre, the original Spectre, and this is not that Jim Corrigan, it's a completely different Jim Corrigan, a black policeman named Jim Corrigan. So it's like, just like, is it a nod to the Spectre? It certainly wasn't the Spectre. He doesn't become the Spectre at all in this story, so I don't know what that was all about. But later on in Gotham Central, I think was the name of the run, there was another Jim Corrigan, and it was like, is he going to be the new Spectre? And it turned out he was the one who killed the guy who became the Spectre, or ratted him out, saying he was a bent cop, basically. So just like, why have DC got with the name Jim Corrigan? Can I not think of new names for policemen? But yeah, anyway, interesting. Okay, this panel comes from a Tales from the Unexpected from the 50s. No, it's true. That day I met you, I was strolling through the woods when suddenly, oh, that lightning stroke. It's opened up a cleavage in space. Crack! It was through that cleavage that I tumbled into this dimension. Yes, I saw part of that same lightning stroke. I thought you'd fallen out of a tree. So it wasn't amnesia. You just didn't understand our language. But, Jane, why didn't you tell me all this before? I was afraid you wouldn't love me anymore if you knew the truth. And the reason I've shared this panel is because it mentions cleavage and stroke. And everybody loves to stroke a cleavage, or possibly to have their cleavage stroked. I'm not too sure. But I knew that kind of crudity would appeal to my viewers, because you're a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. Right, and then we have some lovely poetic Asgardian love poetry or love speech. I'm guessing it's Stan Lee here. It's from a Thor comic, of course. It's Carnilla and Balder talking. And he wants to go into battle, and she doesn't want him to, because he might die. Have I saved thee to watch thee die? I hold thee to thy pledge, Asgardian. A pledge I cannot keep, my lady. Thou wouldst break thy vow? What I made thee take to save thee from death? 'Tis death, my lady, or dishonour. Then go, fool, get thee from my sight, and attend me, knave, ne'er return. I do what I must, Carnilla. A man could do no less. And for this must I love thee? Woman, thou art the one gone mad. Nice bit of Asgardian speech there. And talking of Asgard, talking of Thor, he's fallen, and Pluto is about to lower the axe on him. Pluto is Lord over all. And to finish up these panels that please me, we have some blank panels from the old 0 Hour, at the end of all the 0 Hour issues. And the last 2 or 3 pages are completely blank. Are they still panels? Is it cheating? I don't know, you decide. But cheers for tuning in, and hopefully you'll join me next time for some panels that please me. Maybe you'll even make some videos similar to those, to these yourself. If you want to do a video of panels that please you, I'll be happy to watch it. Right, cheerio!